It was a beautiful day in Nice. I had just stepped into the Mediterranean. The waves splashed up and got the bottom of my pants wet. And I couldn't help but laugh. It was something I'd always wanted to do. And believe it or not, after all these years of travel, I had never set foot in the Mediterranean. Crossed that off, went to sit down and just enjoy the day. And that's when my phone went off. And that's when the tears finally came. So, how did I find myself crying on a beach in Nice? It's a long story. There's a lot of pieces, but I was laid off. And you might think, oh my gosh, that's what made you cry. It actually wasn't what made me cry. My train had just got canceled, and I kind of needed to get to Toulouse. So, a canceled train is what made me cry, but it came on top of being laid off. And I had known this was coming. I had been furloughed about 90 days prior, and I was just waiting for the final paperwork, the final severance, and just knowing that that was going to be done and final, and that I could finally move on with my life. And that's the thing. The layoff wasn't the crisis. The layoff isn't what brought the tears. The uncertainty leading up to the layoff was the crisis. Because that's what no one talks about when you get laid off. They don't talk about the relief that comes when that chapter is finally closed. It was a moment, it was the moment that I got my life back. My life didn't break. My life expanded. Because that's the reality when you go through an event like this. You don't break when life strips away something like your job. In fact, you do the opposite. You transform. And for me, losing something that I thought had defined me, in this case, my job, my role, something that had been a huge part of my life as a 9 to 5 is for 2 years, that, in my case, was the moment I remembered who I actually am and what I'm capable of. And that this job that I no longer had was not what defined me. So yes, I was crying amongst strangers on a beautiful day in Nice and rebooked. I didn't rebook the train, actually. I booked a flight, and it's not a trip to Europe without some train strikes, which also meant that it was a very expensive Lyft ride to the airport the next day. But everything it went well. It was the relief that I don't think I had anticipated, and I really don't think people talk about that. There's so much, there's so many questions people ask you about. Oh my gosh, you must be stressed, the anxiety, the fear. What are you gonna do? And for me, I knew how to begin again. I'd been laid off twice before. This is nothing new to me. It was the release that now I could move on, and I could do the things I needed to do without wondering, were they going to call me tomorrow and bring me back from furlough? Um, and it really made the difference, because for me, there was nothing holding me back anymore from chasing the dreams that I had put aside, because I was burned out. I was tired. I was stressed. There were a lot of times that I would get off work and I would stare at the ceiling because I just didn't have it in me to pursue the things that I knew I was capable of outside of my 9 to 5. And those are the things you see today. It's this YouTube channel. It's starting a blog. It's offering travel planning services. It's finally talking about my travels and my experiences. It's getting to be creative on a daily basis for things that are fulfilling to me. It's being able to set my own schedule, wake up when I want to wake up. There's no one telling me how much I'm capable of earning anymore. And that, all of that combined is a relief, and it is so freeing and it is empowering. Um, it's, I was sitting there on that beach and I really realized that I got to choose for the first time in a long time, if it's certainly within my 30s, I got to choose what my life was going to look like. I get to choose how I'm going to pick up the pieces and put them back together. I get to choose what my life looks like from here on out. Whether that's going back to a 9 to 5 or continuing to bet on myself. Pardon me. Should have brought some water sitting over there. So we'll get it in a minute. Betting on myself. I think there are a few times in our lives where we are truly free to take a moment to step back and look at not only what we're capable of, but what we're able to achieve with what we have. I'm not saying there aren't stresses. There's financial stress. There's dealing with unemployment stress. There's how am I going to make ends meet stress. There's all those stresses. I think there's societal pressures of maybe some embarrassment. Of when it does come up in conversation with people, what do you do? Well, currently unemployed, got laid off, the job market sucks. Fill in the blanks, whatever you want to fill in there, whatever fits for you. But for me, I get to choose. I get to choose my story. And for me, this isn't a story about having a job taken away from me. This is a story that I am choosing to make about getting my life back and betting on myself and the relief that comes with it. I'm super excited for it. And you're probably thinking, okay, you got laid off. Once you're on a beach in Nice, you're crying. What did you do once you wiped your tears away? And I did what what anyone would do. I did the most me thing I could possibly do in that moment. I went to my 29th country, which was Monaco. I had an absolutely amazing time in a van full of, I think, probably 6, 7 other strangers from all over the world, speaking multiple languages, and all of us getting to experience something new together, and having strangers being supportive in English and in French, which I speak enough of, being supportive of me and coming up with ideas on, maybe you move to Europe, maybe you pursue this path, oh, there's these visas, or why don't you do this? That was a feeling that I'm grateful for, and I know I would not have had I not chosen to take the risk of finding out I was laid off on a beach in Nice. It was a moment. It's hard to describe. So yeah, I went to my 29th country. I had an amazing time. A couple days later, once I made it to Toulouse, went to my 30th country in Andorra, and I got home, and I've been moving ever since. Been creating. I've been blogging. Started this YouTube channel. I'm just creating. I'm just going to see where it goes. I'm betting on myself. I'm so excited for it. I'm grateful you're here for this journey. If you want to keep following along, follow along the YouTube channel. I'll drop my link down below for the newsletter, my blog, all that stuff. If you ever want to chat about travel, what life be like, it off and figuring it out, go ahead, jump on my calendar. Would love to chat. Would love to meet you. Yeah. Looking forward to more. Right? Bye.